officially at the point in the NBA offseason where people are coming up with trade ideas and it leaves you saying, what the hell is this? So in today's video, we're going to react to 3 blockbuster trades from different NBA media accounts and content creators out there that I have found on the internet that we are going to react to on today's show as you're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and I'm your host, Marshall Green. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon and subscribe to the channel. This trade idea comes in from Heavy.com. Shout out to the people that do all the nice work at Heavy.com. They've started to up their trade ideas recently, and this one came across my desk. It had the Knicks acquiring Jaren Jackson Jr. and a first-round pick in 2026 and a first-round pick in 2029 with Julius Randle going to the Memphis Grizzlies. I will say this is the first time I've seen a trade where the Knicks are getting a superstar back for Randle and a first-round pick. Tell me the Knicks don't have to attach picks to Randle. That's what all the trade ideas out there tell me. Where do I sign up for this one? Where do I sign up for this one? I'm putting pen to paper to make this deal happen. You're telling me I get to trade for Jaren Jackson and get 2 first-round picks? Yeah, I'm all in on that one. Jaren Jackson, for quite some time, has been a player that I have been hoping and begging and praying that the New York Knicks can find a way to get him on this roster. I think a lineup of Jackson, Randle, or Jackson in the spot of Randle next to Brunson, OG, and Bridges, pretty damn good. One thing I don't love about Jaren Jackson's game is not the greatest rebounder, which is crazy because you think he would be. I remember that Olympics. I don't remember, not the Olympics, the USA team. I don't remember if it was the summer of 2023 or the summer of 2022. He couldn't grab a rebound, and that is concerning. But, man, you're getting a guy that averages 23 points per game and maybe one of the best defensive players in the league. He doesn't got comparable offensive efficiency to Julius Randle. Not necessarily the rebounder Randle is. Doesn't create the assists he does, but similar percentages. Both hover around 45% from the field. And I think Jaren Jackson is going to continue to grow as a three-point shooter. Randle has kind of plateaued. He's usually about a 32% guy at this point. But, man, Jaren Jackson Jr. would make the New York Knicks the best defensive team in the NBA. Having a starting lineup that features Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Jaren Jackson, you would be holding teams to under 90 points a game. And as much as I appreciate Julius Randle and I understand the things that he does and the impact he has for this Knicks team, I'm doing this trade in a heartbeat. Also, Jaren Jackson is under contract for 2 more seasons. He kind of fits the timeline of the New York Knicks. He's on the books for $25 million in 2025, and then his final year will be $23.4 million. Then he would be an unrestricted free agent in 2026. This starting 5, who is scoring on this? And 2, who is beating this team? Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, and Jaren Jackson. With still Dante DiVincenzo and Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride all still on this team. The thing is, I don't think Memphis would do this trade. I don't think that Memphis would do this trade whatsoever. Maybe a straight-up swap of Randle for Jackson. I think they even say no to that. But, hey, I didn't come up with the trade idea. We're just reacting to it. That was Heavy.com. The question that matters, though, is this one. Would you trade Julius Randle for Jaren Jackson Jr. straight up? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts. We got 2 more trade ideas to break down, but first I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app in the App Store and use the promo code ChatSports, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. You get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. You also get to see the view from your seat on your phone before you buy them. All-in pricing, which is my favorite tab to go to, shows you your total cost up front. You could buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. Last-minute deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. Exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. You get last-minute tickets and flash deals, views from the seats, lowest price guaranteed. You're going to save money. You're going to get the best ticket, especially if you use the promo code ChatSports. You're going to get $20 off. You want to go to the Knicks games this season? Do it with Game Time. You want to go to a Giants game this season? Do it with Game Time. You want to go catch the Mets? You want to go catch the Jets? You want to go watch the Yankees? Do it with Game Time. Giants games, Knicks games, concerts, and more. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring the show. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ChatSports. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, the next trade idea that I also found from Heavy.com was this, where the New York Knicks would acquire Jalen Duren with Deuce McBride going to the Detroit Pistons, and the Knicks also having to give up 2 first-round picks alongside Deuce to acquire Jalen Duren. And look, Jalen Duren, here's a younger, potentially higher upside, and healthier Mitchell Robinson. We have heard from former New York Knicks insider Mark Berman that the Knicks have checked in on Jalen Duren. There's been rumors floating across the NBA Association that Duren could be up for grabs and is available essentially in a trade. You look at what he's done in his first 2 years with the Detroit Pistons, and there's a lot to like. I like the growth from him. His points per game went up. His rebounds per game went up. Blocks per game stayed about the same. And the field goal percentage also still stayed extremely high. This is a guy that I think is going to get better and better each season. And I think that he could be a player that could be the center of the future for the New York Knicks. If you were to trade Deuce and 2 first-round picks, yeah, you better be expecting a lot from him. And I get it. He's a damn good player. He's young. He's only going to continue to get better. But, man, I think just adding 2 first-round picks to Deuce is a bit much to get Jalen Duren. I think Duren and Deuce McBride are on a similar career trajectory, and I actually think that Deuce is probably a more valuable player than Duren. But I'm probably in the minority on that, even though I don't think Deuce is a point guard, which you guys tell me is disrespectful to Deuce. But I can't add 2 first. The Knicks only have 2 tradable first-round picks. Like, you're asking me for everything I got. I'm broke, baby. That's all the first-round picks I got. And I think to go broke on picks, which would limit your availability and your ability to make other trades, doesn't make all that much sense. And I think Duren would be a good addition to this team. A center rotation of Duren and Mitchell Robinson would be awesome. Kind of the same player, so I'd like a little bit more variety there. But, man, yeah, the Knicks would be better at the center spot, but you're losing a young, cheap Deuce who is going to continue to get better, even though I don't think he's a point guard, which means that I'm a hater of him, of course. This one comes in from Bleacher Report, our good friends over at Bleacher Report. So this has the New York Knicks acquiring Jabari Smith Jr., Jock Landale, Jeff Green, and it also has them requiring a 2027 first-round pick. So the Knicks would also be getting a 2027 first-round pick, which is top 5 protected in exchange for Julius Randle. The reason you do this trade is for Jabari Smith Jr., who was a top 5 pick just 2 seasons ago. You look at what he's done so far for the Houston Rockets in his 2 years in the NBA, and I would say that he hasn't really lived up to the hype. This was a guy that was projected to go number 1 overall for the large part of that draft. It ended up being Paolo Banchero going to the Orlando Magic. I like Jabari's game, and I thought that he took a step this year. His efficiency got extremely better, and that's what you like to see from a young player. A guy take a step each year in almost every statistical category. Points per game went up, rebound per game went up. When your points go up and your efficiency goes up, that's awesome. And he's also already knocking down the three-point ball at 36%. I'm a big fan of Jabari Smith. And Smith, he's not Julius Randle. There's no chance at all. But he does prolong the window of this team, whereas Julius Randle is going to be 30 years old in November. Jabari Smith just turned 21 years old. So, and on top of that, you're getting a first-round pick for him as well. So you trade Randle out, you add Jabari Smith in, and you get a first-round pick, so you kind of stack the deck there. Look, I think this is a solid offer. I'm not rushing out to go do it by any means. There would still need to some negotiation done on my end for this trade. But, man, a potential closing lineup of Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, and Smith who could protect the rim. He can switch. He can knock down shots. He's only going to continue to get better and better. I don't hate it. I don't. I don't hate it, and I understand some people are going to be like, Marshall, you absolutely just hate Julius Randle. Like, no, I don't. I just understand that there might be some limitations of him on this team. Look, I don't hate this trade idea. Like, if this trade were to happen, I'm not going to come in here on the studio, and when we go live, I hate it. I don't. Is Jabari Smith ever going to be a 3-time All-Star and a 2-time All-NBA player, an average 25, 10, and 5? No. But can he be a starting center on a team that needs defense and spacing and youth? I think that it could make some sense. You can just throw it up the weigh-in right with this. We'll just speed through those. Look, with the trades on there. Look, I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm not necessarily saying I would make the trade, but if Houston called me up with that offer, I'd entertain it. I would entertain it. That's for sure. And I just think we need to keep our eyes on this Julius Randle situation. I do. I said it a couple of times. We'll know on August 3rd if he's going to sign that extension. I think that'll give us some clarity there. Pick a trade idea for me, though. Pick a trade. Which trade, if you had to make any of these, would it be? Is it trade 1, where the Knicks get Jaren Jackson Jr. via Heavy.com as well as 2 first-round picks? Is it trade number 2, where the Knicks get Jalen Duren, Deuce McBride, and 2 first-round picks? Or is it trade 3, where the Knicks get Jabari Smith, a first-round pick, top 5 protected in 2027, and they get a veteran and Jeff Green for Julius Randle? Is it trade 1 for Jackson, trade 2 for Duren, or trade 3 for Jabari Smith? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. For me, it's trade 1, and it's not necessarily close. I wouldn't do trade 2. Probably, maybe wouldn't do trade 3. Only way I would do trade 3 is if I knew that Julius Randle was leaving the Knicks in free agency. But, man, it's trade 1, and it's not even close. I don't want to call the guy out of his name, but Buddy at Heavy.com had to have been drunk off his ass when he made this trade idea. You're telling me the Knicks get Jaren Jackson Jr., who many would say are better than Julius Randle, and not 1 but 2 first-round picks? Sign me up. To be honest with you, I would even trade Randle for Jackson Jr. straight up. I don't know if anyone is going to agree with me on that. Maybe people will just continue to say, Marshall, you hate Julius Randle. But that's just my thoughts on that. And look, I'm not trading Randle just to trade him. But if a player who is better, younger, or makes the Knicks better, a.k.a. a better fit, then why would you not do the trade? Like, are we Knicks fans or are we Julius Randle's fans? I've always been about the name on the front. And if you have to sacrifice a guy in Randle who's done a lot for this organization to make this better, you do it every single time. Because we got one goal now. We're not competing for the play-in. We're not competing for the playoffs. We're competing for Larry O.B., the first one in 50-plus years. My question to you before we bounce out of here is this. Is this Julius Randle's last season with the New York Knicks? Is this Randle's last season with the New York Knicks? Y for yes, N for no. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's talk hoops.